exciting news, everyone. I am engaged. Yes, thank you so much, to a woman. This half of the room was like, okay. I came out 5 years ago, and I came out to my best friend via a text. I sent my best friend a text. It just said, I think I'm flirting with a girl. She replied, how do you know? I responded, she's just moved in. I then had to come out to my South African mum. You got one of them yourself? I said to my South African mum, I said, Mum, I've met the most amazing woman. She makes me a better person. I love her. And my South African mum, she looked me dead in the eyes and she said, Courtney? Does this mean you're going to wear leather trousers at your wedding? The wedding is coming up and all I'm thinking about is how can I fit leather trousers under my dress? You guys are really lovely. Is it okay if I try some new bits? Okay, you guys pretend I'm not here. Just you guys buckle in. Actually, out of interest, does everyone know give me a woo if you know what bride talk is? Okay. Everyone else is single, whatever. Bride Talk, basically, every single video on Bride Talk, it's just like this. It just goes, do you call those arms? I call them sausages shoved in their skin. You want to wear a sleeveless dress at your wedding? Ha 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 ha, kill yourself. I'm thinking, if I wanted to hear this kind of shit, I'd just call my mum. Did you say preach? Do we share a mum? What's going on? Walk me down the aisle. Me and my fiance, we have just started house hunting. We're doing all the big things. And we had our first meeting with an house hunting, guys. It's flat hunting, let's be honest, but fine. We had our first meeting with an estate agent. And we were like, you have to obviously say what you want. So we were like, we're looking for a 1-bedroom flat. And this estate agent, she was a Clapham girlie, for sure. The only reason I think that is she's Australian. Not to profile. But literally I was like, so we're looking for a 1-bedroom flat. And she looked at us, and no joke, she just went, oh, girls, that's South African, it's hard. I'm Australian. I've never really done an Australian accent before, so I'm going to give it a go. Anyway, she looked at us in the eyes and she just went, girls, I completely get it. Aussie living crisis. I was like, does this woman actually think we're going to have bunk beds? And I was like, what is going on? But a lot of people, any lesbians actually in the room? 2, yay! Sick, this is for you. So sorry, actually, I don't mean to isolate the plus, which is the straights, but people often say, what is the best part of being a lesbian? And do you guys know how, a lesbian is born? Give me a woo if you know how a lesbian is born. Woo? Okay. It's my favorite thing about being a lesbian, because the way a lesbian is born, and for those of you who don't know, your mind's going to be blown. A lesbian is born when a pair of lesbians walking down Clapham High Street see another pair of lesbians walking down Clapham High Street. They look at each other, they gasp, they reach for each other's hands, both pairs, boom, boom. And one from the pair will lean over and go, lesbians. And then they look, and they in unison smile. And in that exact moment, somewhere in the world, a bisexual woman is sitting in bed. She's looking at her situationship who's standing at the end of the bed in his t-shirt, no pants. Full Winnie the Pooh, guys. And she looks at him and she thinks, I can't do this to myself again. And a lesbian is born. You might be wondering why it took me so long to realize I was gay. Bless you. Especially because to me, having sex with men felt like licking my elbow. I thought, okay, is that because of my vaginismus, no relationship to Christmas? I thought, is it because I grew up with 3 older South African brothers who used to say things to me like, Courtney, don't you dare let a boy treat you like a box with a hole. 6 was an educational age. Then I thought maybe it was because the boys at school, they placed bets on who would take my virginity. Don't worry, none of them did. I was very anti-gambling. And I did start to think, okay, I need to know my fear. In order to get over my fear of what, I concluded I had this fear of penis, but in order to get over my fear of peen, I had to know my fear. So what is a penis? To me, a penis is a little bit like jazz. Because I fucking hate jazz. But I concluded that I developed this fear because of one specific boy, one specific penis. My dad's. Abby was like, she's the kindest girl. Well, let's see where this goes. No, it's not going to be like that. Don't worry, you can all relax. I was 9 years old. I'd had an absolute rager, okay? I had basically gorged myself on Mawams. I'd had a J2O too many. I'd been allowed to stay up till 9:30 p.m. to watch the Grey's Anatomy season finale. I had been sick everywhere. And so I shuffled down the hallway to my parents' bedroom. They had really fucked up carpets. I knocked on their door. No response. I pushed open that door slightly. And at first I thought there was an intruder in the room. Because on the wall was a long shadow. I ran into the room ready to defend my parents, and as I run in, I look down and I see my 6'5" South African father, naked, legs splayed, unconscious, possibly dead. Because from between his legs lay the source of the shadow. And guys, I'd never seen anything like it. Like, honestly, this looked like the kind of thing horses jumped over. And then I remembered, oh my God, I remembered the stories of the South African tokolosh. You will remember it really well. The tokolosh is basically a little monster that lives under your bed, and then at night it emerges and it goes and eats children. And I thought, oh my God, this tokolosh has gone for bigger prey. And there's only one way to kill a tokolosh. So I ran to the kitchen, I grabbed the terracotta salt bowl, I ran right back to their bedroom drunk on J2O in panic. I took the salt and I sprinkled it over the tokolosh, expecting for it to shrivel. But nothing happened. And so I was panicked. I searched around the room and then, oh my God, I saw it. Oh my God, on my mom's bedside table, her book from book club. My sister's keeper. A horrific read, but perfect. Because I'd seen Dad get rid of spiders before. So I grabbed the book, I took 2 strides back, I took my aim, and the noise that came out of my dad, I'd never heard anything like it. He was screaming, I was screaming, my mum was screaming, everyone was just, ah, and then I just projectile vomited all over the bed. My mum, she looks at my dad, he's panicked, she looks down at her bed, her book club book covered in sick salt and J2O. She looked over at me, petrified, and she said she knew in that moment I was going to be gay. She tried to reassure me, bless her. She tucked me into bed. She told me the truth. But I was still really scared, and I was like, oh my God, is my dad sick? That's the only explanation. So I said to her, Mum, is Dad sick? And she said to me, no, Courtney. Mommy's lucky. But she did tell me the truth. And again, it wasn't reassuring because I was hit with 2 conflicting feelings. On the one hand, I felt fear, and on the other hand, I felt gratitude that my mom was still alive. because if sex is what I think it is, and that was my dad's penis, then I was 100% certain that my dad's peen should have gone in my mum, through her organs, out of her mouth, instant death. Oh my God, I'm so sorry if you've lost someone in a similar way. R.I.P. Trigger warning, penis death. For a long time, that was my only frame of reference. And then I did get a boyfriend. Disgusting, I know. And he proudly showed me his penis. He was like, "Whoa." And I stood there, salt in my pocket, my sister's keeper on my bedside table. And in that moment, I did realize the truth. Not every penis is tokolosh. But it's very hard to tell the boy who's about to take your virginity, don't worry, Gareth Cavell. I'm not scared anymore. Because yours is way smaller than my dad's. I know it's really weird to do a set about your dad's penis. I'm very aware of that. To reassure you, I did ask for his consent. I did the whole set for my dad over family dinner, spag bowl. And my South African father, he just put his knife and fork down and he said, "Courtney, you go out there and you tell everyone how big my dick is." Favorite daughter. But just to embarrass my mum as well as my dad, has anyone ever got a really cool advent calendar? Give me a woo. Well, okay, fine. Your parents don't love you. I got quite a cool one. It had like little days. Hi and welcome.
Hi, buddy.
Oh my God, a Guinness. Split the G.
Oh, dude. In a second.
Are you actually going to do it? No, I don't want to encourage underage drinking.
Thanks, honey.
Okay. I got a very cool advent calendar recently. It had like little doors. It came with like edible things.
Pass the G. I'm sorry.
Happens to us all. I got this really cool advent calendar. Had little doors, had little edible things. Day 25, it came with a clit sucker. For those of you who don't know what a clit sucker is, it's basically a machine that has a tiny little pipe, and the pipe just goes. And let me tell you, it was the closest thing to rigor mortis I've ever felt in my life. Oh, it was so good. Anyway, the clit sucker, it retails at $69.99 if you use my student discount code. Which I did get illegally. Whatever. But what's interesting is the Love Honey Advent Calendar, that retails at $59.99 if you use my student discount code. Make it make economic sense. You just fucking can't. So I did what any savvy person would do. I bought one for myself, one for my best friend, and one for my mum. And then I convinced them it would be a really great idea to rate and review every product every day on a WhatsApp group chat. Started off tame, lavender candle. My mum was like, "I fucking hate lavender, it's disgusting." We move on to nipple clamps. My mum was like, "Courtney, I'm caged by life. I don't need my nipples to feel like this." And then I get a call from my mum. She goes, "Courts, I don't feel comfortable leaving my reviews of sex toys on a WhatsApp group chat because I know you're going to use it in your stand-up comedy." I'm like, "Mum, so fine." And she goes, no, Noodle. I do feel comfortable leaving my reviews as voice notes on iMessage. Because on iMessage, a voice note deletes after you listen to it for the first time. She didn't realize you can just click keep on an iMessage. Here's my favorite review.
Courtney, I've opened number 23. I'm definitely not using that one. I can't get stuff to come out my bum. I'm not shoving anything up it.
Guys, that was my mum's review of a diamond butt plug. I'll leave you on that. Thank you guys so much. You've been absolutely amazing. I am Courtney Buchner. You can follow me on Instagram, Courtney B Comedy, to keep up to date with any of my new shows.